Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of January 19th. So we had a pretty big week in the cosmic skies last week. We had that full moon, which was really amplifying some of that Mars retrograde energy. As we move through this week and as we get into the end of February, when Mars retrograde comes to an end, we're really going to be kind of coming into full awareness, kind of into our full moon moment of all that Mars retrograde has been trying to teach us and guide us with. Remember, you've probably heard me say this a lot, Mars retrograde is a time where we recalibrate our energy levels and what motivates us, what drives us to do what we do, why do we do what we do. All of that is up for renewal. And this particular Mars retrograde, it started in Leo and it's now made its way back into Cancer. Both Leo and Cancer are very heart-driven signs. Leo is all about the bold heart, the courageous heart, following our heart, going after our dreams. Whereas the Cancer energy is very much about nurturing, our nurturing heart, how we give and receive love, how we look after others, how we love ourselves, and how we pour that love out into the world and what we do. So it's a very heart-centered Mars retrograde. So we really may be feeling the call of our heart. Or this week or over the next weeks, it might be in your best interest to sit down and really listen to the calls of your heart and really listen to what your heart may be trying to show you or guide you. It is very common that our motivation for doing things, our energy level for doing things, our tolerance for doing things changes and shifts. And we may find that as we're moving through this cycle. So last week under that full moon, it was kind of a full moon moment for our Mars retrograde cycle, and things maybe came up, things were revealed to you, and now we're able to kind of sit with those revelations and try to understand them, try to sort through them, try to make sense of them. We've kind of reached the peak, if you will, of this Mars retrograde cycle, and we're now moving through the final, month and a half of these lessons and are able to kind of enter into a new phase of this cycle where perhaps we're starting to think about or to understand what exactly needs to be recalibrated. So that's something to just ponder on and sit with as we move through the next few weeks, but this week in particular, because we're just coming down from all of that energy that we had last week with that Mars energy. It is very common under a Mars retrograde to feel unmotivated, to feel a little bit confused about what actions to take, to feel like you're taking a step forward only to have to take 2 steps back. They're all very common manifestations of Mars retrograde energy. So just being patient and hanging in there and really questioning and trying to stay mindful of what is driving your actions, what is driving your behaviors. And are there some actions and behaviors or lifestyle choices or things that once motivated you that perhaps don't anymore? And that's okay. And how can you start to take a look at those things? So that's something to really ponder on as we move through this week. The big energy shift happening this week is really our sun moving out of earthy Capricorn into air sign Aquarius. So Capricorn is a very grounded, earthy sign. We're really encouraged to create some structure and stability. We can always feel pushed off course when we don't have structure and stability, but especially when we're moving through Capricorn or an earth sign, we can just feel really displaced or out of place when we don't have that grounded security. And so that's something that we can use the last few days of Capricorn season to mull over, to muse over, to think about how we can feel grounded, secure, and safe, even though our situation may be up in the air, even though we might be dealing with a lot of uncertainty. How can we create some structure and stability? As we get into Aquarius season, as the sun moves into Aquarius on January 19th, 20th, we are now moving into an air sign. So energy moves up We can feel a little bit lighter. We can feel a little more adventurous. We can feel a little more open-minded. We can realize that we don't have to stay where we are. We can move. We can be a little bit more flexible. Aquarius energy is really that sort of out-of-the-box energy, allowing ourselves to think bigger, to sort of stretch our horizons, and to be a little more authentic when it comes to how we behave and how we act. Aquarius is ruled by the water bearer, and the symbolism there is that the water bearer has the gift of being able to take the water, which represents our emotions or the collective emotions, the psychic baggage of the world around us, the sensitivities of the world around us. The water bearer can collect that water in its vessel, purify it using the power of the breath, and return it back down to earth in a zero state, into a zero neutral state. So it's also a very healing time in our zodiac cycle. So really kind of inviting some of that healing energy in, knowing that we have the power to take those heavy emotions, to take that psychic energy that might be around us, or that we might be, our anxieties and the energies that are sort of lingering in our auric field. We're able to take those and return them to a neutral state, to a place of zero, to a state of pure balance. And that is all within our power, and particularly within our power as we get into Aquarius season. So you might want to, as the sun moves into Aquarius, really think about cleansing your auric field, maybe doing a cleanse of your home or your family or loved ones if they'll let you, really thinking about how you can clear that psychic energy, clear that emotional sensitivity, and return your auric field, the energy around you, to a balanced state. We also, as we get into Aquarius season, it's worthwhile remembering that it's number 11 on the zodiac wheel, and there are 12 zodiac signs. So we're getting to the end of our zodiac wheel. We're moving through to a state of completion. So that's something on the horizon too. I know we've started the calendar year, but if we're looking at the astrology, our new year really starts as we move into Aries season, which is the first zodiac, which happens in March. So we're moving to the end of this zodiac cycle as well. So there it kind of is a lot of energy to work with as we move through this week. We also have, and I don't want to go too much into it, the Sun and Pluto aligning. Pluto, of course, has just moved into Aquarius. So now every Aquarius season, we will be having, or for the next, couple of decades anyway, we will be having our Sun-Pluto conjunction in Aquarius and moving us closer into those Aquarian, age of Aquarius energies. So it'll be something to watch, something to see. If you want to learn more about this Aquarius season, maybe the Pluto and Aquarius energy, check out foreverconscious.com. Your horoscopes are up for Aquarius season, and you can also find more info about Pluto's move into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, and what that might be bringing our way. So some extra reading resources available for you there, but definitely if you're going to check out anything, check out those horoscopes. Narayana, a fellow astrologer, writes those horoscopes, and she has given every zodiac a power color to work with, which I think is really cool. So be sure to check that out and check out what your power color is for your zodiac sign as well. You can find that at foreverconscious.com, and I'll drop a link in the description box below. So quite a few energies around us right now, moving into Aquarius season. We're getting to the end of that zodiac wheel, and an energy shift will be felt this week as we move out of Capricorn into Aquarius. I also just want to say thank you all so much for those of you who reached out. Some of you, or many of you, may know I live in Los Angeles. I have actually been in Australia since the end of December visiting family. So I'm still here. My family and I are safe from the fires. Our home is safe. So thank you all so much to those of you who reached out. I do have plans to go back home. I do want to get back to LA eventually. I'm just not exactly sure when that will be because of the air quality situation, being pregnant, having a toddler. I don't know. Not exactly sure what the plan is. Things are up in the air for me right now. But thank you all for those of you who reached out to ask about my well-being. I do appreciate that. Okay, you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you all next week. I'm Tanaaz from Forever Conscious. Thank you so much.